So what are some of like the things that you would say that actually make up a successful like Facebook ads campaign or a Google ads campaign?
Yeah, so the three, I mean, they're kind of different. So let's go with Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, one, like any agency or business owner, you got to understand the difference between the platforms. Facebook is proactive, Google is reactive. So people have a problem, they're going to go to Google, they're going to search it, or they're looking for something, they're going to go search it. Facebook, you're
Mhm.
creating FOMO, you're creating demand, right? Um, so Facebook, like, I mean, the easiest ways to make sure you're going to have a successful Facebook campaign is really one, knowing what your objective is. And for the most part, I think everybody should always live in, if you're e-commerce, you live in the sales objective, which used to be conversions. And if you're a service-based business, you live in the leads section. Don't do anything
Okay.
else. Because the objective you pick legitimately tells the algorithm, go show it to people who are most likely to do this. So if you pick video views, it's going to show it to people who like to watch videos. So picking the right objective is like number one. Number two, you need to know who your customer is and be willing to spend a little bit of time diving deeper than just like the high level categories that have 240 million people in it. Like, it's too broad. Everybody else is going after that same interest, right? It's too easy. So what we like to do, and what I've always done, because like the supplement world has always been saturated as crap. And so what I learned to do was, okay, here's my ideal customer. I'll just use my old company as an example. They're 30 to 50, and they're into fitness and nutrition and all that stuff. Okay, cool. But I'm not going to target those interests because everybody is doing that, and it's going to be very high CPMs, a very expensive category. So I go deeper. What clothing brands do they buy from? What shows are they watching? What influencers are they following? Like magazines are they reading? Books? Getting in front of those people through different interests and methodologies than just like the usual ones. So that drove our costs way down. And I think if people could literally do that now, because you can still do that now, it takes a little bit of time, and understand that every interest you think of or come up with isn't going to pop up, but you will get lower down. Like, you almost have to, and this is going to sound horrible, I get paid to stereotype the living crap out of people.
Right.
My team and I, we have to stereotype
Yeah. I mean,
people.
that's what selling ads is, right?
Yeah, literally,
So
like, we're stereotyping you.
yeah.
And what TV shows are you watching? Good example would be, like, say, gun holsters. Well,
Mhm.
that's just kind of a taboo subject, and you can't really target, the NRA or Smith and Wesson or stuff like that. So now you have to really stereotype the kind of client or person that you're getting in front of with their TV shows.
Yeah.
What extracurricular activities are they doing? So doing that is very important. And
And
then, of
are those,
course,
sorry to cut you off, but I'm curious, all of those are options that you can select whenever you're creating a Facebook ads campaign. Is that correct?
yeah, 100%. So
Okay.
during the campaign creation, it's at the ad set level, where you can pick, your demographics, so your age, sex, location, and then put in interest targeting, or create, use custom audiences that you create based on website traffic, purchases, stuff like that. So those are all
Gotcha.
options at the ad set level. Then you get to the ad level, which I think the biggest mistake most businesses make, and actually I don't even think, I know because I see it all the time, is they lead with features.
Okay.
This does this. And I'm like, that nobody cares. We live in a very me centric culture. What is this going to do for me? So you have to be benefit driven, right? Like, you could take your features, flip them into benefits, and that's great. But it has to be, the ad copy needs to be done in such a way that it speaks to you and your problems and how this can solve your problem, whether that's a service or a product. I cannot scream from the mountaintops enough how important benefit driven copy is. If you lead with features that, Riverside FM does XYZ, nobody cares.
Hmm.
Nobody cares. Then when it comes to your image or your video, you want it to stand out. one, represent the brand, represent the product, but also stand out from the feed. So like right now, everything is super heavy video, right? Like video everywhere. And so I think on at least on the Facebook platform, all the videos kind of blend into each other. So what we started to do was I was like, I'm going to bring TikTok features over. I'm going to bring the big headlines, the cool captions, other call out features, because those will stand out from the feed. And so you got to kind of be on top of that as well. And then sending them to either the direct service page or product page or category page. Like, yeah, kind of the top 4 things for me on the Facebook end. Google, you have your Google search stuff. The hard part with those is really the keywords for Google search, making sure they're not really competitive, making sure they actually relates to what your service or product is. I'm a huge fan of Google Performance Max campaigns right now because they hit 5 platforms at one time.
Okay. What is that exactly? I've never heard of it, to be honest with you.
Google Performance Max is they basically took smart campaigns and turned them into Google Performance Max campaigns. But Google Performance Max campaigns let us get ads on search, display, discovery, YouTube, and I always forget the 5th one. There's Gmail. So Gmail ads as well. And you basically go through in, let's say you're service based, whether you're service based or ecom based, you have one campaign, you build out asset groups, which you can look at those as ad groups in a search campaign or ad sets on Facebook. So each category has its own asset group, its own set of audience signals, headlines, descriptions, images, videos. And those just kill it. Like we're getting anywhere from a 5x to a 9x, 12x, depending on the time of year, on those campaigns for our existing clients. Like it's that they're insane. But you still need to kind of you need to know the same thing. Who is it for? Because the audience signal is nothing more than interests, affinities. You can actually say, I want to build an audience based on people who visit websites like these, and type in your competitors' websites.
Right.
People who've searched these terms, and it works, man. It's crazy.
Is that a Google Ads campaign hack right there? Just
Yeah.
look for your competitors' websites.
100%. I mean, because you could put them in there and it's like, hey, show this. I want these ads to be shown to people who visit websites like these. And everybody has, like most companies have the Google conversion codes on their websites. And so Google knows exactly who's going to every single website.
Right. That's insane, man.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. I always knew, I'm obviously a software developer by profession, so I always knew like the information is out there, and it's always about like finding new and creative ways to actually use that information for your own
Mm-hmm.
benefit. And I think you're doing an amazing job. Obviously, I mean, you've been in business for a really long time now, so I'm sure you're doing great things.
Yeah, no, it's like, and these are just the little things that, over time you learn, and, keeping up on what you can and can't do. Like there's, deep hidden gems inside of both platforms that it's just a matter of like how do you find it? How do you learn it? Myself, I know, people always ask me like, how do you stay up to date on regulations? Which really, there's not a whole heck of a lot of regulations, to be totally honest with you. It's like the Wild West.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
but staying
when it
up on
comes
like
to,
best, oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, sorry.
I was going to say, just when it comes to like staying up on best practices, I mean, one way I do it is like there's certain websites and blogs that, people I follow. I have a great network of very smart marketers that are smarter than me, that are willing to share their advice and what's working for